My stepsister, Leah, moved in with us 2 years ago after her mom married my dad. We were cool, friendly, even. She was just this nerdy, quiet girl who liked books and indie music. We'd share the occasional joke, argue over the TV remote, and that was it. No weird tension, no awkwardness. Just two people coexisting under the same roof. At least, that's what I thought. It started small. A lingering hug here, a compliment there. At first, I brushed it off. Leah had always been affectionate. Maybe this was just her way of bonding. But then the looks began. The kind that lingered a second too long, filled with something more. One night, I was sprawled on the couch watching a game when she plopped down beside me, way closer than necessary. Her knee brushed against mine, and she didn't move it. "You're really into this, huh?" she said, nodding at the screen. "Yeah, it's a close game," I muttered, shifting slightly. She leaned in, resting her chin on my shoulder. "I don't get sports, but I like watching you get excited." That was weird. I cleared my throat and inched away. Thanks." She just smiled and stayed put. The next day, I found a note tucked into my backpack. "You look cute in that blue shirt today." My stomach dropped. This wasn't just friendliness. This was flirting. And it wasn't just me overthinking. My best friend, Jake, noticed it too. "Dude, your stepsister is into you," he said after she brought me lunch at school, complete with a heart doodle on the napkin. "No way," I argued. "She's just being nice." Jake gave me a look. "Bro, she blushed when you thanked her." I didn't want to believe it. But then came the final straw. Last weekend, Leah knocked on my bedroom door late at night. She was in pajamas, short shorts, and a tank top, holding 2 bowls of ice cream. "Can't sleep," she said, pushing past me before I could answer. "Thought we could hang out." I stood frozen as she climbed onto my bed, patting the spot next to her. "Leah, it's midnight." "So?" She grinned. "We're siblings." "Who cares?" "Step-siblings," I wanted to correct. But the way she said it, like she was testing me, made my skin crawl. I sat on the edge, keeping my distance. She sighed and stretched, her foot, accidentally, brushing my leg. "You're so tense," she murmured. "Relax." That was it. I stood up. "I'm gonna crash. You should go." Her smile faltered, but she didn't argue. As she left, she paused in the doorway. "You know, we're not really related." The door clicked shut behind her, and I sank onto my bed, heart pounding. This wasn't just hints anymore. This was a problem. After the ice cream incident, I decided I needed space. A lot of space. I started waking up earlier to avoid sharing the bathroom with Leah. I ate breakfast in my room. I even took the long way home from school just to minimize alone time with her. If she noticed, she didn't say anything, but the hints didn't stop. If anything, they got bolder. One afternoon, I walked into the kitchen to find her wearing one of my hoodies. "Oh hey," she said, tugging at the sleeves like it was no big deal. "I borrowed this. Hope you don't mind." I did mind. But calling her out would mean acknowledging the weirdness between us, and I wasn't ready for that conversation. "Yeah, whatever," I muttered, grabbing a soda and bolting to my room. Then came the texts. 10:14 p.m. "Leah, you've been quiet lately. Everything okay?" 10:15 p.m. "Leah, we should hang out more. Miss you." 10:16 p.m. "Leah, you're not ignoring me, are you?" I stared at my phone, debating whether to reply. Before I could, another message popped up. 10:17 p.m. "Leah, I know you're reading these." I groaned and threw my phone onto the bed. This was getting out of hand. My dad and Leah's mom, now our parents, were oblivious. They thought we were getting along great. "It's so nice seeing you two bond," my dad said over dinner one night, completely missing the way Leah's foot kept brushing against my leg under the table. I nearly choked on my food. Leah smirked. "Yeah, we've gotten really close." I shot her a warning look, but she just winked. That night, I called Jake in a panic. "Dude, I don't know what to do. She's not backing off. Have you tried, talking to her?" "And say what?" "Hey, stop being into me, we're family." Yeah." I sighed. He was right. But confronting her meant admitting this was happening, and part of me still hoped I was imagining it. Then came the party. Jake invited me to a small get-together at his place. I jumped at the chance to get out of the house, until Leah found out. "Can I come?" she asked, leaning against my doorframe. "It's just a guy's thing," I lied. She crossed her arms. "Jake's girlfriend is going." "Shit. Fine." I grumbled, knowing she'd show up anyway if I said no. Big mistake. At the party, Leah stuck to my side like glue. Every time I tried to talk to someone else, she'd pull me back with some excuse. "You promised you'd try this dip with me," she said, dragging me toward the snack table. Jake raised an eyebrow at me from across the room. "Do something," his expression screamed. Finally, I snapped. "Leah, can we talk?" "Alone?" Her eyes lit up. "Sure." I led her outside to the backyard, away from prying ears. The second we were alone, she stepped closer. "What's up?" she asked, voice low. I took a deep breath. You need to stop. She blinked. Stop what? This. The flirting, the touching, the everything. My voice cracked. We're family. For a second, she just stared at me. Then, to my horror, she smiled. But we're not really, she said softly, stepping even closer. And you know you feel it too. My stomach twisted. This was worse than I thought. I stumbled back, my heart hammering against my ribs. Leah's smile didn't waver. If anything, it grew more confident, like she'd already won. I don't feel it, I said, my voice firmer than I expected. Leah, this isn't okay. Her expression flickered. Confusion, then frustration. You're lying. I've seen the way you look at me sometimes. What? No, you haven't, I shot back. Because there's nothing to see. The backyard suddenly felt too small, the air too thick. I needed to shut this down before it spiraled further. Listen, I said, forcing calm into my voice. I get that maybe you're confused, or lonely, or whatever, but this? It's never happening. We're family now, whether we like it or not. For the first time, doubt crept into her eyes. She crossed her arms, defensive. You don't have to make it sound so gross. It is gross, I hissed, glancing toward the house to make sure no one was listening. You're my stepsister. Even if we weren't, I don't like you like that. At all. The words came out harsher than I meant, but I didn't take them back. She needed to hear this. Leah's face fell. For a second, I thought she might cry, then her jaw tightened. Fine. Whatever. She turned on her heel and stormed back inside. I stayed outside for another 10 minutes, trying to steady my breathing. When I finally went back in, Leah was gone. Jake said she'd called an Uber. The ride home was silent. The next few days were awkward. Leah avoided me, slamming doors and blasting music whenever I walked by. I should have been relieved, but guilt gnawed at me. Had I been too harsh? Then, on Friday night, my dad cornered me in the kitchen. All right, what's going on with you and Leah? He demanded, arms crossed. My stomach dropped. Nothing. Don't give me that. She's been moping for days, and you've been acting like a ghost. Did you two fight? I hesitated. There was no way I could tell him the truth. Just sibling stuff. It'll blow over. He studied me, skeptical, but let it go. A week later, Leah finally spoke to me again. I'm sorry, she muttered, standing in my doorway. I was being weird. It won't happen again. Relief flooded me. It's cool. Just, let's forget it, okay? She nodded, but something in her expression made me pause. Was that regret? Or something else? I didn't have time to dwell on it, because the next day, she brought home a guy from school. Hey, this is Tyler, she said, grinning as she clung to his arm. We've been hanging out. Tyler grinned. Yeah, she's amazing. Leah's eyes flicked to me, sharp and testing. I forced a smile. Nice to meet you, man. And just like that, things were normal. Too normal. Because part of me wondered, was this real? Or was it just another game? Either way, I wasn't sticking around to find out. I started applying for colleges that night. Faraway ones.